Chapter 15, Light. When Despereaux awoke, remember he fainted in the last chapter, he was cupped in the large calloused hand of a human. He was staring in the fire of a match, and beyond the match there was a large dark eye looking at him. "A mouse with red thread," boomed the voice. "Oh yes, Gregory knows the way of mice and rats. Gregory knows, and Gregory has his own thread marking him. See here, mouse?" And the match was held to a candle, and the candle sputtered to life, and Despereaux saw there was a rope tied around the man's ankle. Here is the difference between us. Gregory's rope saves him. Your thread will be the death of you. The man blew out the candle, and the darkness descended on the man's hand as it was tightly around Despereaux. Despereaux felt his heart start up like a crazy rhythm of fear. "Who are you?" he whispered. "The answer to that question, mouse, is Gregory. You are talking to Gregory, the jailer, who has been buried here, keeping watch over the dungeon for decades, for centuries, for eons, for eternities. You are talking to Gregory the jailer, who is, the richest of ironies, nothing but a prisoner himself." "Oh," said Despereaux. "May I get down, Gregory?" "The mouse wants to know if Gregory the jailer will let him go. Listen to Gregory, mouse. You do not want to be let go. Here in this dungeon, you are in the treacherous dark heart of the world. And if Gregory was to release you, the twistings and turnings and dead ends and false doorways of this place would swallow you up for eternity. Only Gregory and the rats can find their ways through this maze. The rats, because they know, because the way of it mirrors their dark hearts. And Gregory knows because the rope is tied to his ankle to guide him back to the beginning. Gregory would let you go, but you would only beg him to take you again. The rats are coming for you, you see." They are?" "Listen," said Gregory. "You can hear the rats' tails dragging through the muck and the filth. You can hear them filing their nails and their teeth. They are coming for you. They are coming to take you apart, piece by piece." Despereaux was listening, and he was quite certain he heard the nails and teeth of the rats and the sharp things that were made sharper still. "They will strip all the fur from your flesh and all the flesh from your bones. When they are done with you, there will be nothing left except red thread. Red thread and bones. Gregory has seen it many times, the tragic end of a mouse." "But I need to live," said Despereaux. "I cannot die." "You cannot die. Ha, that's lovely. He says he cannot die." Gregory closed his hand tightly around Despereaux. "And why would that be, mouse? Why is it that you cannot die?" "Because I'm in love. I love somebody and it's my duty to serve her." "Love," said Gregory. "Love. I will show you the twisted results of love." Another match was struck, and the candle lit again, and Gregory held it up, so the flame illuminated a massive, towering, teetering pile of spoons, kettles, and soup bowls. "Look on that, mouse," said Gregory. "That is a monument to the foolishness of love." "What is it?" said Despereaux. He stared at the great tower of spoons, kettles, and bowls. "What's happening?" "What it looks like. It's spoons, kettles, and bowls, all of them gathered here as hard evidence of the pain of loving a living thing. The king loved the queen, and the queen died. This monstrosity, this junk heap is the result of the king loving the queen. understand, said Despereaux. You will not understand until you lose what you love. But enough about love, said Gregory, and he blew out the candle. We will talk instead about your life and how Gregory will save you if you desire. Why would you save me? Said Despereaux. Have you saved the other mouse? No, said Gregory, not one. Why would you save me then? There's a picture of Gregory. Because you, mouse, can tell Gregory a story. Stories are light. Light is a precious in this world of dark. Begin at the beginning and tell Gregory a story. Make some light. Go on, mouse, said Gregory. Tell Gregory a story. And because Despereaux wanted to live, he said, once upon a time. Yes, said Gregory happily. He raised his hand higher and higher until Despereaux's whiskers brushed against his ear. Go on, mouse, said Gregory. Tell Gregory a story. And it was in this way that Despereaux became the only mouse sent to the dungeon whom the rats did not reduce to a pile of bones and a piece of red thread. What does that mean? He was the only mouse that was not a pile of bones and a piece of red thread.
They didn't kill him.
Okay, he was the only one the rats let live. It was in this way that Despereaux was saved. Reader, if you don't mind, this is where we're going to leave our small mouse for now. In the dark, in the dungeon, in the hand of the old jailer Gregory, telling a story to save himself. It is time for us to turn our attention elsewhere. Time for us, reader, to speak of the rats, and one rat in particular. And it says, end of first book. Tomorrow, we will be reading book the second, Chirascaro.